Let I review the code first. Workflow here is example. In this we have the domain classes. In here we have user and task. Here our domain classes, and we use entity framework to convert this domain classes into the table in database. The detail of workflow in here, we create or modify the domain class and configure the domain classes, and as is entity framework routes, they will automatic code space migration to the database. So I start by practicing this workflow. First step is you need install entity framework 6 if it's not available. So it can install from this manage NuGet package. So let I see it in this program. Sorry. Here is previous projects I get from one student. So now I will show you how to install entity framework 6. First, you just right click on project and choose management NuGet package. Again, right click and see what install package here is a entity framework. Let's check its name. Entity framework. It's not available, so you click on browse. You have installed package browse. Click on browse and says entity framework 6 here. It's by Microsoft V6. So let's install this package, and here is also entity framework core. Is a bigger user interfacing. This framework core can run on multiple platforms such as Linux, iOS, but it is the assignment for you in the final project. If you write in entity framework core, it is a bonus score for you. So here I just demo in entity framework and I click install and accept. Okay, wait for its install. Okay, it has finished install, so let's check in reference. It has entity framework back here, entity framework, this entity framework SQL Server. So that's we finish the install package. This is the first step. We install entity framework. Next, we will create the domain classes. First one, as I said before, we need to write our project in 3 layers. 3 layer is a view, business or controller, and finally is the model. So let's try in this. First I create the folder, add new folder is a view, and add new folder. Is the business or controller, and finally new folder model. We divide it in 3 layers: view, controller and model, and user and task force. We move it into the model. Okay, SE belongs to model, and view is a task, user and task is a view. Okay, now some of the function that I guide you to write in the view in the form. We will transfer it into the model later, but now just this structure: model, view, controller. And let's change is namespace is a event. Let's change its namespace to task. Task management, so that we will not confuse with event in programming and event in our program. So let's change its task. And suggestion, change rename event management to task. And let's build again. It says now the user and task work in model, so we must use a model. And see change namespace to model, and also task work here we change namespace into model, change it task. Okay, it task model. And see what error user is task. Task work. And in the view code which one is that the rock view, and this now dot view. And to use task work as user, we need using task management model, so that we can use task work and user, and same here for user. So please, when submit the code for another student to evaluate, remove on breakpoint view, and using namespace task dot model. And next we need change it to designer. Its namespace, same here for task management namespace. and main guy change to namespace and using task the model and change namespace in designer. Okay, let's build again. We have one error namespace main guys. Here we need task management and using task management doc view. We call directly from the view review. Okay, it's working perfectly, and we have changed its structure of our project into 3-layer model view controller. With each layer, I change it into namespace. Okay, let's design the class in model. We start from the domain class is model, and from first user, username, full name, department, birthday, phone numbers, daytime it can be not known, email, a list of tasks to string. Here as first lesson from this to automatic convertly entity framework, we must use iCollection. Okay, let's keep it and check in user taskwork. Taskwork ID string description from day to day. Okay. As previous lecture, I said that if you want to convert this class to domain class so that it can use into entity framework, AA is the ADM entity data model. So this list must use from the iCollection. So it's the must iCollection list user, and same for user, it has iCollection of task. Let's build. Okay, is some error here, so in this case we just skip it and we come back it later. Okay, it's work. Now user task. As previous lesson, I asked you that in the code first approaches, you must declare a class is a DB contact so that it is a connection to database. So as I create this class, I drag it. It's inside the model because it connects to database. So I right click on the photo model and add new item. To code, and here I set its name is the task db task and it has inherited from DB contact. Let's check its name. Let's check its name. DB contact. Using data entity. In this, we had two tables such as student and grade. So here we have two tables: the task and management. So this from DB set publish DB set DB set. Here we have user. There is a must in task. DB set user, and here I name a list user set and get, and as a publish DB set task work and list. It's a table, so I can name table task. Easy to see. Yes, set and get. Also is a table user, and here's from one is a construction for this class. So it's construction publish DB task management. Is inheritance from by class. Yes, let's build. It's a set. We have created the DB context. Okay, we had created the DB context. Now let's come back into user and task work. As we know, in the database it has a table. So what's the table name? We don't know. And what is the primary keys and what is foreign key? We don't know. So it has some keyword here. First we define is a table. It's a table, and let's see, it's using data annotation camera table. We define this kind of table. Here is for a user, and for primary key is a username. Here is a key. Using, so it knows that these strings will primary key. It is primary key in the table, and same for task work. We add this table. Using, and this is table name is here task work, and ID is the key. Okay, Now we test that we can insert this data into a database. So from controller I add new class. Here handle for controller is the I set it name is test db. Is controller class testdb. So from this we need to publish class testdb. Here as a function is static, public static, so that we can call it from the class name. So that's, for example, is the insert a user to database, public void static. In this we will insert to database. How we use the database context using var cts equal new db. From it we need using namespace. Let's change it into event into task, namespace task management dot model and we add new db task management. Let's create a user user with username keywords equal my username. Yes, just only username, and I add it cts user table user we create in db management table user here. So from db test dot add we add new user into it and we call it ctx dot save change. Okay, let's test this function. So we call it from the menu. It's a program. It has main guide. So from view main guide is one function here is here test db and double click onto it. From this I call the controller db task management. So to do it we must using task management dot controller and this test db we call is the controller. Just see what's the controller test db. So here test db dot function insert to database and debug into it to see what happened. I run it. Okay, test db f11 f10 và user add user side chain Is there errors? So let's see. Daytime to here daytime to daytime out of range value. So is this problem because I just add a username, so here also is the birthday equal daytime of now, and that's enough. It had to scale first from we must display all the information in the user. We can set it into can be null, so it's the question mark, so that this field in the table can be null value. And save it, run again, F5. Test DB F11 10 add error. Database content had changed since the database was created, so the problem here previous we create a database, so let I check in database management, right click and refresh. It's down here. No, it's so let's see what's the problem here. So let's check this link from the Microsoft, and in this link they said that we need to run enable migration from package managed control. Enable migration. I copy this command and it's package and create console. First, this console in the tool Nucleus package manage console. So let's open it in tools, management and console. Okay, as I add enable migration, copy this command, enter. Okay, we must wait for it checking. As it has errors that detects a database created with database initializer, so must delete the migration folder. So where migration folder here is a migration folder. So let's delete it. Delete it. Yes. And rerun enable migration. Specify enable automated migration parameter. So I copy this and pass I delete specify enable migration and enable automatic migration. Okay, we must enable it. Enable force. Okay, it had this from it needs from the guy in Microsoft link. It is the as code first migration had two primary commands that go beyond with 40s migration and update database like pending migration to the base or less as migration. We must enable and add migration. Add migration positions name. So let's add name is here task management DB. This automatically create this task management DB migration user birthday. Init task was create table task was. Okay, let's run again. Let's see check it. Update database will apply pending migration to database. So let's update it. See what happened. Is apply to command task management DB. Let's check on database. Refresh. Now here. Okay, database snapshot. Okay, let's run again. F11 10. Okay, let's see is this available database. No, yes. So what's problem? DB task management. Let's see server explosion and database. As database into SQL server. Let's check. Okay, it don't have any database name, so let's check it. In tomorrow, the task management base we add name of database is a can is a db task user is the name of database and view run test. Okay, it's work. See it's back is my console and update database. Let's first of to see what's the comment here is app config target database db task user so local db mysql provider. So the data sort is here, so let's check local db. So let's modify the data sort. Okay, let's add a connection string. You must go into app config and click on this. In this way, as one browser is the connection string. It's a connection string. Let's add its name equal task user db. Any name I search name task user db, and that's a connection string. Connection string and connection string that I copy is provider name connection string and task db is a connection, and from the db task management we add is by name of this connection, so I add the name equal config this name task db name of this, and let's finish just the important is connection string. I copy it from is first the data source categories and is the name of database, so I create name is task for different name here, so I db task management and data source I copy from the SQL server. So here I property, connection, and this one let's disconnect and connect. Here is the server name is the localhost SQL server. Let's copy data source is the localhost SQL Express in this catalog and integrate security tool. Okay, view. And let's F5 test DB 11. Self F5. Let's see it's add into database, connect database. Yes. As we expected, here is a DB task management. This name I define into app config. This is DB task management. Let's say what's the table is the task work user and user task work. As I said before, the relationship between user and task is many to many, so it's create a new table is user task work. So we can see it's the foreign key task work. Okay, task work and column. Edit. Yes, username and task work is related for the relationship is many to many. So now we have create a code first approach. From the code we add into the database. For one example here, and let's check into database names. It's create also one table is the migration history. Let's check US select top. Just history, and for user we add one user and let's select it. Yes, it's one user with birthday, today, phone, email, and other unknown. So we have create a call first browse in that we insert into the database. So the exercise for you is to repeat my work, create a new database